So I've just filled up. I've reset the trip meter, everything ready to go. It's 6:40 something in the morning, 6:44. Leaving Mount Isa, heading to Cairns. Trip meter has been reset. Full tank. I'll fill up in Richmond in about 400 some odd K. And then again in Hughenden before I go up Porcupine Gorge, which is 4-wheel drive only at this time because of rain. And we'll see how we go. Well, I've just left Cloncurry, and I know you don't want to see me, but if I turn the camera around, you'll just get the A-pillar. So, what I wanted to talk about was something I've never heard anybody else talk about, and that is the computers on this car. We were in Europe at the beginning of the year and had an Audi A6, and whenever you did anything, there was a slight delay. Put on the cruise, it was a slight delay. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was good, but there was always that slight delay. And then a couple of weeks ago we were in Canada, we hired a Bronco Sport, and the delay was quite noticeable. Whereas in this, you put on the cruise, it's working instantly. It seems that they've really got a lot more processing power. I drive a Hilux for work, and the delay in that one is quite noticeable. You put it on cruise and it has to think about it for a second or two before it engages. Whereas this one, it's working right away. And the other thing it's really good at is the lane assist. I don't like using lane assist. I feel like I'm always fighting it. In this, compared to that Bronco, for example, the Bronco never stopped going side to side. It was constantly fighting you. It was constantly going from edge of lane to edge of lane. That was quite tiring, so that didn't really stay on for long. And then the Audi, that was a little bit better. My old Tiguan, that was actually brutal. It would just about rip the steering wheel out of your hands. It would try to autocorrect so hard. Where this one, if I put it on, which like I said, I don't really like doing, it holds it pretty straight. You can probably see the steering wheel is not really moving much. Whereas in the Bronco Sport, it'd be constant, and the road's pretty rough. Yeah. So in the Lexus, it's excellent. I've turned off the slow down for corners. I don't like that. I don't really like all these driver aids. Call me old school. Some things I love, like the cameras for parking. This has to be the easiest car on the planet to park with these cameras. They're so easy. I like the cameras. I love the adaptive cruise control. That, to me, is a game changer. You know, when they first came out with that, I thought, how good is that? And then I finally got a car with it, which I think was the Tiguan, and loved it. Loved it. It's just brilliant. So there you go. I've just stopped in Cloncurry. I've had a snack, and if you ever find yourself in a rural town in Australia, anywhere in Australia really, go to the bakery in the mornings. Fantastic. They're all good. I haven't had a bad one yet. And if you lunch or dinner, go to the local pub. You'd be surprised at how good they are. Yeah, just good, honest food. Really tasty. Yeah, not pumped full of chemicals, it feels like, compared to the store-bought stuff and other things. But yeah, if you get a chance, go support the locals, because that's really, really important. On a side note, this morning there's been several dozen dead kangaroos on the road. I'm only 150k into my trip. Several dozen, 2 pigs dead on the road from last night because they get picked over fairly quickly by the hawks, the eagles, the crows. You'd be amazed at how quickly they eat most of the kangaroo. And I imagine I'll see a few snakes dead on the road because it is winter. It's now 15 Celsius. They come out on the road to warm up. And to fill you in, I'm going down, oh, yuck, that was a big chunk of bloody meat in the middle there of the road. So I'm heading east towards the coast from Mount Isa, which is 2 hours east of the Northern Territory border, and it's 1,250k from my other home. So I'm going back to Cairns. So this trip I'm going Mount Isa, Cloncurry, through Julia Creek. I'll stop in Richmond, fill up, and then go to Hughenden and top up again, because then from Hughenden I go north, and that is quite a desolate road. I think it's 300 or 400 kilometers, and I've done it and seen like 3 cars. There's a big dirt section there which is closed to normal traffic. Only a car like this one is allowed in. People are getting bogged all the time because there's springs under the gravel bit of the road, and the road has been closed for months, and they've finally reopened it up to 4-wheel drives with high clearance, which is this car. Oh, that's the other thing. If you're driving in Outback Australia, get yourself a UHF. Worth their weight in gold. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Hopefully you can hear me okay. There's a little bit of wind noise from the weather shield, but it doesn't bother me. I just turn the music up a little bit louder. Yeah, it's good. I've got a traveling companion behind me. They've been sticking to my butt as I've been going past the road maggots. There's a whole convoy of them. Road maggots are caravans or camper trailers, and they usually drive very safely, way under the speed limit, which is good that they're safe, but also frustrating when you just want to make time. And yeah, we just had 4 or 5 of them coming out of Cloncurry, and I got past them. Oh, the cruiser's passing me. Good on them. V8 cruiser. They're using a lot of fuel right now. Because I have had to floor it a few times at 12.9 liters to 100k. Now I'm hitting the flats, so but the speed limit will go up to 110. So I'm pretty sure I'll be at the 11.6 is my normal. Oh, here we go, 110. The speed limit has just risen to 110, so fantastic. Make some time, and let's get past this car. One thing I absolutely adore about this car, that motor is a peach. You know, I pull out to pass someone, I'm out of the death lane super quick, and that's what you want. You don't want to be stuck beside someone who accelerates when you hit an overtaking lane, which is a very common thing here in Australia. We have the overtaking lanes, and the people who've been doing 20 kilometers under the speed limit become race car drivers. Floor it when they hit the overtaking lanes. Nobody can get by. Very annoying. But with this, it's got enough power to blast past, and I love that. Okay, I'll leave you with that thought. Might come back to you later. Well, I'm 300 kilometers into my trip. I'm on the flats. I'll take a photo to show you. I am against a very strong headwind, like 3/4 coming from down the south. So my fuel economy is atrocious. It's 14.5. But then again, I am at speed in something as aerodynamic as a block of flats, apartment building. So I'm hoping when I get to Hughenden and turn left, head north, and I've got the wind from behind, I'll be going a bit slower. The fuel economy comes back to me. Normally I get good fuel economy along here, but it's super windy today. We've got tumbleweeds going across the road constantly. So, but it's still beautiful country out here. I love the flatness. I am 100 kilometers outside of Richmond, where I'm going to fill up. Then I'll top up one more time before I get to when I get to Hughenden, and before I turn left, and that's another long stretch with zero amenities, no fuel for hundreds of kilometers. So I like to make sure I've got enough fuel. And that's where I'm at the moment. So I'll keep you up to date if anything interesting happens. A lot of feral cats on the side of the road, alive, hunting. I love cats, but I don't like feral cats. Just like I like pigs, but I don't like feral pigs. They cause so much damage here in Australia. Terrible. But I think I saw 7 feral cats along the side of the road out hunting. Not good. And there's no houses around. Like, you look around, you don't see any civilization other than power lines and the road. It's beautiful out here, though. Well, 4 hours in, 402 kilometers. I've filled up in Richmond. You can tell we live in Mount Isa, a mining town. It's fuel. I filled up this morning at $2.15 a liter for 95 octane. Here in Richmond, I filled up for $2.05 a liter for 98 octane. Substantial difference. But yeah, it's going well. A few emus around, a few more cats, a couple of dead pigs, more dead pigs. As long as they don't run out in front of me, I'm happy. So next stop will be Hughenden. I'll fill up, just top it up maybe, and then up through Porcupine Gorge to Lyndhurst, which will be really good. It's a beautiful drive there. But there's a lot of cows on the road there, and it's quite remote, so you can go for a long time without seeing another car. We'll see how we go. I'm looking forward to it. Just want to say another thing to remember is at 100 kilometers an hour, the speedo is reading 4 high, so you're actually doing 96. But at 110, it's reading 5 high, so you're doing 105. So if you want to do 110, you have to set the cruise at 115. Just so you know, it's a little bit frustrating, and yeah, I think that's a bit wrong. That we should be able to know what we're doing without having to activate the satellite GPS on our phones. But I guess it stops them from getting lawsuits saying that we're speeding, so the speedo is out. I don't know. So this is the bad road that they have warned us not to drive on. So I've now put it on auto, off-roading. Yeah. You can see there's still some water on the side of the road. This is from all the floods that we had a couple of months ago. So let's just see how that goes. Okay, now it's starting to get a bit more interesting, a bit boggier. There's been a lot of washouts. Big potholes back there. This road had been closed for a couple of months. They've just opened it to 4-wheel drives and cars with high clearance. That I'm going to show you. Here's a little bit of Australian. That's black soil. That stuff is horrid. If you drive into that, it splashes like mud, or splashes like water, sticks like glue. I've actually had that where I had to stop on every culvert and use a stick to clear out like the mud around the tires so I could actually steer. It is horrible stuff. If you go off in that, you're stuck until a big truck can pull you out. The black soil is incredibly dangerous. Oof, that's a big one. But this thing, the GX, is brilliant. I feel completely confident in this. This is what it was made for. That's why I don't have lift kits and all that, because I don't care about that. I drive it on the highway more than I do off-road, so I don't want to ruin the on-road abilities. So, you know, it's very important that you get the mix right. And I don't begrudge people buying rims and chunkier tires and lift kits and all that. Personally, I don't see the point. A friend of mine who's spent a lot of money on his cruiser, the only thing that's ever gone wrong are the aftermarket parts, like rims. He's cracked two very expensive good rims, whereas the OEM rims have never broken, never cracked. So yeah, I don't know. I like OEM. However, still want a bull bar for this thing. Oh, here's another thing for you. Here comes a car. I'll just pull over and let this guy through. If you have your phone plugged in, it's much quicker. If you fast forward a song or something like that, it's much quicker, it's much better than AirPlay when it's going through Bluetooth. I don't like the Bluetooth, so I have mine plugged in. I've got my quad lock there, I've got the cable there, and it's plugged in down there. So it's pretty good when you plug it in. Those poor horses in there. Oh, no horses in there, which is good. Okay, they're gonna let me through. That's nice of them. No, they're not. They're just going super slow with their boat. They can almost use that here. Let's see. I'll show you the water crossings coming up. I bet they're still full. Just want to show you. Here I am on a gravel road, and the only rattle you hear in this car with 20 some odd thousand K on it is the drawers in the back that I put in. The thing is still tight. There's no squeaks, no rattles. And here I am on believe it or not, this is actually a highway. This is the Han Highway, or Kennedy Development Road. It's actually supposed to be a major thoroughfare. Yeah, unfortunately, all the politicians in Queensland are south of here in Brisbane, and we're way up north, and they don't think we matter. So they don't really do too much about this. They've been pledging millions of dollars every election. Nothing ever gets done. There's still, I think there's either 11 or 14 kilometers left of this kind of gravel. And then further ahead, we have a couple of causeways with water crossings. And they expect the semis and the road trains with 4 trailers to come along here. Can you imagine? What would that do to the road in no time? So, yeah, hopefully they widen it, they pave it, and they make better bridges, because all this gets cut off every year. And the people around just can't go. They can't go into town. They have to get food helicoptered out to them. This year was quite bad for a lot of the people in this area. But as you can see, the GX laps this up. You're watching it because I'm driving the GX, and it's brilliant. It really is. I feel so confident that whatever the roads throw at me will make it out of. Here's another little water crossing. But yeah, these ones are nothing, but you still got to make sure that the road isn't completely washed out, which it looks like it is. Yep. Big dip there. A lot of the concrete was gone. So it's, like I said, this is why we bought the car. I don't like the diesel. I would love the diesel economy, but it is what it is. We'll get a long range tank for this one, that's available, and we'll get a bull bar. And then two of my biggest gripes will be sorted. Other than that, the motor's brilliant. I do love driving this. You know, you put your foot down and it yodels. The thing moves, and like I said before, it gets you out of the death lane onto the safe side again, and off you go. Alright, I'll show you the next bit. Hopefully we have a few water crossings. They're always fun. Okay, here's one of the water crossings on the highway. It's gone down a fair bit since last time I was here. It was up quite a bit. It was over the bottom of the doors. Ooh, that's not nice. Big lump there. Don't know how... Isn't it pretty though? Oh. So that's one of two. That's what I love about driving the Outback and in rural areas. It's not dull. It's not dull. Okay, I've just filled up at the Oasis. I didn't film the second water crossing because unfortunately my fat thumb didn't actually hit the button properly, so it didn't record. Oh well, it was much like the first one, but beautiful. Yeah, so when I had that headwind on the flats between Richmond and Cloncurry, I was up to 15.1 liters to 100k. Now that there's no more wind, I'm down to 13.9, and it's getting better and better as I go along. So I might still make it to the 11.6 like I normally do. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of downhill coming up. And this... I have to merge. Yep. So, yeah, fantastic drive so far. I always loved this drive. I've got 355 kilometers to go, according to the sign, to get to Cairns. I've done 769, and it's 10 to 3 in the afternoon. And according to the trip computer, trip information, it resets every time you fill up, but it says my trip duration is 2 minutes. Been a bit longer than that. But yes, it's going well. I've got in the 253 kilometers from Hewenden to the Oasis Roadhouse, I passed 11 cars. I like that. 10 cars? Something like that, I'm not sure. Can't remember, but not many. With luck, I'll be back in Cairns before it gets dark. driving out here at night is not nice. Kangaroos everywhere and pigs and stuff, so you try and do all your driving in the day when they're in the shade somewhere trying to cool off. Oh, I'm home. Back in Cairns, I did 1,108 kilometers, and it's 6:43 in the evening, so 12 hours. I did have about half an hour of roadworks on the Cranda Range, but I ended up averaging 13.1, which isn't that bad, I guess, considering I was at 15.1. So we'll see when I go back in a week or so. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to say, if you watched my 22,000 kilometer review, I apologize for the aspect ratio. The GoPro was set to wide angle for when I'm driving, and I have it in the windscreen, and I forgot to set it back, so sorry about that. It was bugging me too when I watched it, so if you did watch that, I do apologize. I'm still learning all this, and thanks for watching. Any questions, ask. I'm happy to let you know what I think. And someone did ask me if my fit cam dash cam overheats and stops. It did earlier today, but now it's working fine, it looks like. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.